Hi, welcome back to my channel. If you are new here, don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you can get notifications when I post something new. Like, share, and subscribe.
Okay, so in this video, let's cover and make a tag flip. Already. Jeez, I just started. Okay, so I apologize ahead of time. I'm sucking on candy to help me from my coughing. I am sick, of course. And I'm banging on my teeth with my candy, and I do apologize for that, but I'm trying not to cough. So this is it's called a chipboard book from Studio 18. I'm not sure where I got this from. I think it came from like a Christmas Happy Meal thing. I don't know. I honestly do not remember where it came from, but it was in my stash and I want to use it. So this only has 5 and I need 6. So what I did is I took one out and I traced it on 2 sheets of chipboard that I had in my stash. I don't know what this came from, probably like the back of a paper pad or something, who knows. And then I glued 2 of these together. So this is the one you can see with my ink marks, but you won't see that once I cover it. And it's a little bit off color from these. So it's now the same thickness as the machine cut ones. And then I used my Crop-A-Dile so that I could punch a hole in the middle. And it did go through 2 layers of this, no problem. So that thing is like a monster. Anyways, I'm making 3 and 3 for Zara and for Holly. So I plan to use this paper collection from Recollections. It's called Safe Freeze, and I chose my papers already. Some of these papers are not available because I've used this for other projects, but I'm using this in my swap, and I'm making 2 identical swaps. And I chose to use the green colors for my Christmas trees because Christmas trees are supposed to be green. I know you can do white and pink and blue and all that. So I cut out, I traced around just like I did the chipboard pieces. And when I did that, like, it works, but let me see. When you put it on here after you cut it out and you glue it on, see how it's still like sticking out a little bit because it's not like with the shape of the tree? Like, there's less than 1/8 of an inch, but it's visible, and it hangs over just a little bit. So I'm gonna have to cut it with this after cutting it out. So in order to eliminate that step, what I have done, and that's what I did here, is I cut it out with scissors and then I glued it on. And then I cut it out again. So it does look good and it works. And to hide all my flaws along the edges, I'm going to use glue to go around the edges and show you how that looks. So here's these 2 that I already have, the front and the backs. I still have to glue this on and cut, which I'll do that off camera so you guys aren't bored with watching me. And then what I did here is I just glued one of them on here. So these are the papers that I picked for my tag flip, all kind of green colors. So I glued one on, and then I'm going to glue the second one on. And all I did to glue it, and this is so smart because you're going to get bubbles if you use like a glob of glue. Like, if you glue, you want to get close to the edge and make sure that your edges are covered in glue so it doesn't come up when you're finished. And then just a drizzle throughout the whole thing, but you don't want to leave it chunky like that. So what I do is I use my finger tool. It's free. You don't have to pay any money for a finger tool. I just use my finger tool and I rub it and smear it all over and smooth this out. And then you're probably thinking, oh, that's so messy. You're going to get glue all over your paper. No, 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 no. So now it's all filled with glue, right? So now I'm going to set it here, and then I'm going to take my handy dandy baby wipe and just wipe it all off my hands. And there we go. No glue residue. Tuck that back under my little handle of my desk so it doesn't dry out. And then I'm going to line this up, and I'm going to place it down on my paper and let that dry. And while that one is drying, I'm going to cut this one out. And then again, like I said, I'm eliminating the step of the scissors because I'm doing this. And it's really not hard. If you cut into it, so what? It's going to cover anyway. I mean, I don't want you to like cut all the way down and destroy your whole shape. But you get what I'm saying, right? We want to keep those corners pushed down too so that the paper stays in the corners. And then you're going to cut and cut. And then I'm trying to do it so it's in frame so you guys can see what I'm doing, but also so I can see what I'm doing. So I don't need to be getting cut here. Okay. And then go this away and then this away. And it should come right off. Oh, I didn't go all the way to the end of here. So then once you get, what am I doing here? Oh, there we go. And once you get it all cut off, then your ends, because these are rounded, you can either use a quarter rounder or whatever, but I don't think that it's going to fit in mine. So I'm just going to do like a straight, like diagonal kind of cut. I don't know how you would say it, but just get the little tip off so that it's not like pointy. Yeah, that's what I'm trying to say. And so it kind of looks rounded, but not like 100% round. And once I put the glue on, then you're not going to see it anyway, right? So that's how I'm doing that. And then in order to keep your holes, once you cover one side, you have to punch the hole. And then you put it down, cover the other side, and then punch the hole again, and then you put your eyelet in there. So that is how I'm doing the Christmas trees. And I'm going to pause and finish the rest of these, and then we'll be right back. Alright, so I'm on my last one. I've covered all the others. And I kind of wanted to explain something to you guys and why. Okay, so I am using this glue and just going over it and using my free finger tool. Now you might ask, why don't I use this one to eliminate the bubbles? Because when you put thick beads of glue, you get bubbles in your paper, but you don't when you use like a precision glue bottle, okay? So yeah, I could do this, but y'all, look how slow this glue is coming out. If I was to do this to all 6 of these, I would be here gluing Christmas trees until I was ready to go into a nursing home. It is so slow. Like, this is perfect for when you're doing die cuts and layering and like little pieces, but not for big projects like this. It is so much easier to just slap that big old glue bead down, get your edges, and you see the big old clumps of glue. And yeah, it's messy, but it's so much quicker because now my whole tree is now covered in glue. Well, not covered, but you know what I mean. And then all I do is I take my finger and smooth it out. And then you don't have that bead of glue to make a wrinkle in your paper. So, even if you use like thicker paper, I think most of this kind of paper, when you're getting designer papers, are like 65 pounds cardstock. But even if you use thicker kind, it can still bubble up. And then, like I said, I have my baby wipe right there tucked underneath my desk handle, which is so handy. But yeah, and then you just set it down, and I still got glue on me. I didn't clean off very well. And then why do I tuck my baby wipe? Well, I don't want to waste them for, one for each side. That would be 12 baby wipes. No, I'm going to use the same baby wipe until I am finished, and then I will throw it out. Sometimes I will sit here and just use the same baby wipe while I'm working on my project and just throw it away at the end of my whole entire project. As long as you tuck it into something, and it doesn't have to be a desk. If you don't have a desk, so like while this is drying on here, I will show you. So like, even, I wouldn't use something cardboard, but even if it's got to be something small that you can tuck your baby wipe into, and as long as it's in something, the moisture stays in it. Like, this part will dry out, but what's all balled up is going to stay wet. I hope that makes sense. I have this that I stick my glue bottle in, but I could stick it in there and use it. You could even, hey, there we go. I can use it in here. There we go. And then it's only going to get dry on the outside. And I can put my glue bottle like that, and it will stay, with the glue. Because if you put it this way, then it gets full of air, and then you got to shake it, and that's a pain in the butt. Just some tips and tricks that I've learned throughout my crafting career. And yeah, it's pretty simple. Easy. But I have the little desk handle that I can tuck mine in, and it's right there. I can grab it when I'm ready for it, throw it away when I'm done with it. All right, and then when you're cutting, make sure you give yourself enough blade. Like, don't cut keep your fingers away. But make sure you give yourself enough blade that you can cut straight and not like a super small piece, and then like you want it leaning up against your cardboard. So I give myself about that much, and then I just cut straight down, and then straight down, and then straight down. Why? Because then when you go in and you cut this way, it frees. So even if you're doing like a heart shape and it's round, like go straight, turn, straight, turn. And then when you get done, if it's not even, you can use your scissors and cut it as close to your cardboard as possible. Like, I could even do that here. Excuse me, guys. So sorry. Like, I can cut this way. And then, like, it's harder to do this way because you have such a small space. And then you have to turn, and you can't get in this way. You could this way, but I'm right-handed, and I just can't. So make sure that if you're using this, don't cut yourself. Please be careful. We love you. We like your creativity, and we like to see your content that you create on YouTube. And even if you're not creating on YouTube, but you're posting pictures on Instagram, please be careful. Don't hurt yourself. And then it just comes away. And if you have precision scissors or anything that's like, I don't know, I have, I never really use them though because, well, oh, here they are. These here, if you have something like this, you can like just snip it and get it right off of there. Yeah, I said that and now I can't because I don't use them enough, but it takes some time to get to know it. But you know what I mean? Like, just, it works. That's all I can say. And I give myself enough blade to cut this off, and then it just comes right off. And then if you miss a spot, go over it again. I must not have had enough pressure in that one. And when you're doing this, make sure you let your paper dry. I didn't do that here, and I don't know if you can see that. It kind of wrinkled there because I peeled it up when I went to cut it, because that side was not dry. And then when you get that done, you're going to stick it in your, if yours has holes in it, that you're going to make a book or a flip tag or whatever you're making. You got to punch your hole every time. Because if you don't punch your hole, then you can't set your eyelets. And that's it, guys. Now I have all my Christmas trees. My Christmas trees are ready to get my glue along the outside. Oh, I'm going to get that off there. And then I will put them on a bigger ring. I don't know if I said this or not, but I have shower hook rings that I use so that I can, instead of using these, I got more space to fill in between. I'm going to put my green glue on, and I will let that dry and show you what it will look like when it's done. Okay, so this is not working. I have been shaking this, and this is like the backing from label sheets, so that way I can set this down. Again, excuse me. But I've been shaking this and squeezing, and I am having a hard time getting this out. Ugh, yeah. So, in the trash this goes. And I will use stickles. Okay, so now I'm on my last one, and I laid these out on this so that it can dry. And I just kind of want to show you guys, well, before it dries, like my process. So I go slow and steady, try and get the whole thing covered. It's going to be a little bit off because I'm shaky. I'm not like very steady. I mean, I'm not that shaky, but shaky enough that it's not going to be even all the way around. That's okay. Gives it that handmade look. And you don't have to do this with the glitter. I just choose to do this. You could leave it as is if you want. You could color it in with a Sharpie marker, paint it, a paint pen. Ooh, that's something I should have done. I should have like outlined it with a gold paint marker. Oh well, next time. But you can put hot glue down, run ribbon around it if you want. You can do just about anything that your little heart desires when it comes to decorating and giving it a little more pizzazz. And I figured if I did this, it kind of like disguises the imperfections of the paper and the one that I made. So you won't be able to tell which, like right now, I couldn't tell you if this is the one I made or that's the one I made. I really honestly could not tell you. So now I'm just going to let that dry, go pick up my kids from school, clean up my mess, and then I will come back and set the eyelets in it and then put it together with my embellishments and such on it. Okay, it's the next day. They are now dry and they come right up off of this paper. It doesn't stick to anything. You can see how I did the stickles along the edge. Now the entire thing is not covered. I'm okay with that. It just gives it a little extra to look at, a little pizzazz. So yeah, that is, oh, we've got a clump right there. Oh well. That is how my Christmas trees are looking. And then I went ahead and went through my stash and decided to go with these giant eyelets that I have had since, gosh, I don't know how long. They're probably from Stampin' Up. I could not tell you. But I have a bunch of them. So I figured I might as well use them. I could have used the other ones, but I want to use these up. It's time for them to get used. So I can still set these. It's a little bit bigger than, okay, I'll have to find that one later. It's a little bit bigger than the hole, but if I push it through hard enough, I can get it in there. And then I can still use my Crop-A-Dile, but I have to stand up and use my body weight to push down on it to set it in. Until I hear the click, and then I'll do it again just for good measure. Yes, my nose is still running. So there is that, and then push that one in. That one went in easy. This might have been the one I made. And then push that in. Oh, I gotta turn it this way. Oopsie. So there we go. And then I can add it to my ring. I'm not sure the exact way I'm going to do this, but we'll say 1, 2, and 3. And then there is my tag clip. Okay? So just in case you didn't know how to cover these in whatever, like, I don't know what my intention is. I just wanted to show you and kind of go over how I made a tag flip from pre-made cardboard chipboard pieces, and maybe help you if you decide you wanted to do something similar. Okay, thanks, and stay tuned for my finished project share once I get all of the embellishments on.
Thanks for watching. Bye.